This is Ken Pyle with VOD TV. We're at Parks Associates Connections Conference at CTIA. We're with Frank LaBarbera of Affinegy. Frank, you've relatively new to Affinegy. Congratulations. Tell us a little bit about Affinegy.
Sure, be pleased to. So Affinegy has been in the business for 10 years. The genesis of this company was really making it easy to connect devices on the home network. They've moved to having a much bigger vision of having cloud-based services and having visibility, remote access to devices in the home. And you know, devices in the home are just exploding in terms of everything's connected, whether it's access points, set-top boxes, smart TVs, obviously tablets and mobile phones. So the number of average connected devices on the home network now is significant, and you know that it certainly is exciting and creates opportunities.
Well, it's obviously very relevant to this conference, where much of the focus is on the connected home, given its connections. So how is that relating as far as what you're seeing? You know, who's kind of controlling that home? Is it the service provider? Is it going to be the retailer?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, in some respects the jury's still out in terms of it's just really an open slate. I mean, certainly the service providers have a great position in terms of providing the broadband access into the home, and but there's certainly plenty of devices within the home network that are provided by consumer electronic companies, whether they're offering mobile devices or smart TVs, et cetera. So I think there's actually lots of players. But that creates challenges, is all those various players need to work in a harmonious way, and that's in fact what Affinegy software does, is kind of the glue that makes the experience much more user-friendly.
Well, we were just talking to Melissa Dukin of Parks Associates. She was talking about the whole idea of the distinction between connected home and smart home, and it seems like that cloud is the place where the smarts happen. Right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, certainly if you look at it from a service provider perspective, when there was a migration from just an access point to an integrated access point with wireless router, they became really ground zero for a lot of customer service calls related to connected devices that are in the home. And as that number goes from 8 to 10 to 12 and beyond connected devices, that just magnifies the number of potential issues that arise, that generally the first line of defense is to call your service provider. And so really service providers today really need a tool that gives their agents visibility into the home network, not only to help reduce calls, but shrink the length of those calls, and ultimately reduce your OpEx and improve customer satisfaction.
Is there an opportunity for, in your view, for operators, service providers to kind of monetize that in some way?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, the one thing about these cloud platforms is, in some respects, they're sort of the Trojan horse. Is they may be driven initially as sort of an OpEx play. Is if I can reduce customer service calls, reduce truck rolls, I reduce OpEx. But they're also a service enabling platform as well. And so, using that pipe, you can start offering things like parental control and home security and home automation, e-health, et cetera. And so it becomes this platform to enable a number of other services that certainly can be monetized.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and it seems like we're still just getting started in this in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exciting. I think there's lots of room for growth, but you know, the key foundation is you need to have that easy connectivity in order to enable those services to be viable, that customers actually want to use them.
And from just a cost standpoint, I mean, we're looking at pretty low-cost networking technology, so you know a lot of things can have connectivity. Right. And so, from a management standpoint, does it also follow suit that you can manage those things, those low-cost devices?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, and certainly when you have other business models in terms of being able to do revenue sharing on app downloads, et cetera, it becomes an exciting space. And certainly, you know, it may be very analogous to the mobile space, where it was very much an apps play, and you know, the broadband market may start to look like that as well, where people will be able to go to their broadband store and download apps specifically for their needs.
Wow, that's a very interesting way to look at it. Well, Frank, it was great to meet you, and thank you.